Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun.
Good morning, everybody. It is the 2nd of December. I am not having the best morning, to be honest with you guys, but that's okay. So, let's get into, well, I guess we can come over here and we can look at the overnight action from this perspective. But basically, we had a pretty okay, not that one, over here. We had a pretty okay move up yesterday in the E-mini. They're taking off at the open okay, and then, kind of selling into the close. Since then, we're down. So if we open up down in this area, I found that when they open below previous day's open, there is going to be a higher propensity for them to sell it. But the real, well, let me back up. They might sell this morning, but the thing that was really interesting about yesterday's market was the more frothy areas of the market, particularly the electro vehicle market. So like NIO and those guys just got obliterated. So NIO was down like 10% on Monday, right? Tuesday, another 10%. And it was just absolutely, I got cackle on my face. It was just absolutely brutal. And this was happening in a lot of spaces. Also, Zoom lost like almost 20% yesterday. Okay. The other big piece of news, and more relevant for us, is that the treasuries sold off really hard yesterday morning. So, we're going to want to be monitoring that, because there's kind of this give and take. Like, okay, so if the E-mini S&P 500 is just going to take off and everything's fine now, and we're going to get reflation, then interest rates are going to have to come back up. If interest rates are going to come back up, then all of these companies took on all of this debt, and that's going to be a problem for them. And, on and on and on. So that's kind of the situation that we're in right now. And we'll see which way it's going to go. Maybe it really is the market can just handle it. I don't know. Anyways, I'm working on. I'm pretty sure that by the end of our session today, we'll have data again. But for some reason, they just didn't get what they needed to be able to. Like they got the funding and everything, but they don't have it set up again. But that's AMP for you. Now, in other news, well, first of all, let's start the Texas speech here. Go back to kind of like our backtesting setup, shall we? Oh, we do get some news here, by the way. What do we get? Canadian labor productivity. What was the U.S. ADP employment change? 307K versus an expected 410. That's bad. That's really bad. That is not encouraging for the jobs report this weekend, is it? No, I don't think it is. Okay, there we go. We got the live chat. Frank Milano says, "Hey Seth, hey, how are you? Hope you're having a good day." Man, I'm just not. When I came out, I'm like, I'm not feeling hot. I always say that at the beginning so that when I'm watching back over these in the future, I can say, oh, okay, so how much of what happened that day was me? And I didn't sleep very well, and I ran out of my Adderall today. So I'm like, even if we had it set it up, I don't know if I would be taking trades with it. Plus, I've been so absorbed in this back testing. So I've been doing I continued with the strategies that we had set up yesterday. And some of them were doing pretty good. The profit factor is not nearly as high as I would like. But I do get oh, that's not the one that we want. We need to. There we go. Okay, so here you can see a couple of these. This one, well, we need to rerun this one because it did not include commissions. So we'll do that. Let's run that with the commissions implied. It'll take about 15 minutes, but 1.12. Okay. Now I had this one down here with the hourly. Oh wait, why is it the? Oh, this is the breakout one. That's right. Okay, the spread cross. It was able to get to 1.31 and a Sharpe ratio of 0.7 and a total net profit of 5,000. It's not bad. We might be able to include a couple more filters to like filter out like the really, really bad trades, but overall, I'm pretty happy with that. And I'm thinking that we can move on to a couple of things like try and break even if we get additional signals. I really want to try something where like if we've baked in a certain amount of profit and we have enough cumulative delta in our favor that we want to extend the target or something like that. So I think we will get into that sort of stuff while we're waiting for AMP here. Also, we need to look at this So one of the things that drives me nuts is that the backtester doesn't really tell you what it's doing at the moment. So I don't know if it's trying to load the data set or what the deal is on there. And yeah, this is just kind of annoying. I also want to go and revisit the moving average filter because I found a couple of other filters that I hadn't tested before and want to try. That's not what I wanted to hear. They sound busy. They just said, "Oh, we will have you enabled today," and I'm like, okay, okay, AMP. I can hear one of the puppies is having a nightmare. Okay. Oh yeah, it was still running that. Yes, this is what it was doing. Wow. I was sent this promo, I guess, for a desk lamp. I don't know if desk lamps are something that you guys are really interested in, but it does 500 lumens. Wait, did I read that right? 500 lux. It's a bright lamp, guys. Jeez. Oh, they have a couple of different kinds of lamps. That's cool. I mean, it makes sense. You're sitting at your computer all day long, and especially for me, I usually keep it pretty dark in here, not on purpose, but I just kind of forget to turn the light up. And this thing, it like adjusts for what the ambient lighting is, and you can make it orange and everything else like that. Because so that the actual desk is illuminated, but I don't know why they're sending that to me in particular, you know what I mean? Well, anyways, let's go out and read. I didn't read my headlines today. What's wrong with me? Bum, 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 bum. U.S. President-elect Biden will not immediately remove Phase 1 tariffs on China, according to a New York Times op-ed citing a phone call with Biden. Oh, he's doing phone calls with the New York Times, eh? McConnell is working with Chief of Staff Meadows and Treasury Secretary Mnuchin on a revised stimulus proposal. Doubt that goes anywhere. There's the whole thing with the Pfizer vaccine going to the UK. A bit of strength in the sterling. Yesterday's bear steepening rout, an element of risk reversals as stocks stall on perhaps relief that UK and German debt offerings were comfortably taken down, but Brexit has also been a factor behind the recovery in gilts after EU negotiator Barnier less than promising update on the progress or lack thereof towards a trade deal with the UK. 10-year UK benchmark has warned just ahead of 134, awaiting results of the 2031 DMO sell to see if the recent concession is enough to entice buyers. Well, buns are just below their Eurex best and the T-note midway between overnight session high and low in the run-up to the ADP. Powell, Part 2, and Feds Williams, who is due to speak twice before the Beige Book. Oh, really? He's going to speak 2 times.
Winston's mom says good morning, speculator Seth. Are you ready for Wednesday?
No. Unfortunately, I'm not. Frustrating week, guys. It's not like I don't know. I stress out about it too much because when I kind of realized how I had screwed up, when I kind of realized where I had screwed up, I like felt really, you get that like, I don't know. I think that it's like the feeling of cortisol rushing into your body. You just kind of get that feeling of dread and like something's wrong and you need to do something. And I just, you kind of get a little bit of that and it doesn't go away. And I hate it, even though it's like, so it's fine. Like it was a little mistake. Didn't cost me anything. I guess things aren't necessarily the way that I wanted them to go, but there's nothing you can do about it because it was always going to be that way. I just didn't realize. If that makes any sense. I just need to relax about it, So is your live stream more about stocks, indexes, forex, or an overall general view? Okay, Chris, this is a good question. So the thing that you're going to find separates my stream from your typical like trading channel is that we are focused much more heavily on one, the market microstructure, and two, the macroeconomic picture. Okay. So most traders are focused entirely on stocks and they spend all of their time chasing after what is the best stock to trade that day and giving each other tips and, FOMO this and FOMO that. And we don't play that game. I really hate the whole thing of like, guy creates a Discord, people subscribe money to get in the Discord, you have a morning call and then you say which stocks to follow and all of that noise is just and frankly the way that some people do it I feel is dishonest. But no, what we do, we're always trading the S&P 500 and the 10-year treasuries. So you don't have to think about what instrument you're going to do or get tips or anything like that. And so then the question is just, do you buy or sell and when, and how do you manage your positions and so forth? And so that's where the focus on the macroeconomic picture, first of all, because one of the best edges that we can have is being in line with what the news is and in large trends. So best situation for us is a change in the macroeconomic picture that takes a long time for the market to sort out and creates strong, long-lasting trends in the instruments that we're trading. And then the market microstructure, because we can see the full level 2 order book. We can see where other people are putting their orders, look at the action, so on and so forth, right? So we're really, really kind of heavily focused on order flow. And then we also do a lot of the programming. So today we're going to be I'm running a back test right now. So we do a lot with the programming. And then the last thing is talk a lot about, there's some pretty hefty equipment requirements for day trading. Most of you guys, you want to have multiple monitors and how do you manage all that and the desk, and it's a huge mess and everything. And so we talk about that a lot too. Chris says, very nice. That's good to be with you. Looking forward to following your stream. Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't have my data feed set up right now. So what I was talking about when you came in is I made a little boo-boo and because I was looking to wind down that account, but I needed a little bit more in there than I thought. And I mean, it was like really just a teeny tiny amount, right? So instead of winding down the account, I wired them some more money, and I guess we'll probably sit on that. I still don't think, we'll see what December brings, but I'm still a little wary about trading it in December. I'm thinking we might, I don't know, everything that I see says that December is likely to be a positive month. That makes sense, especially with window dressing and the chasing end of year performance and all of that, that we do tend to have a positive year. But I'm seeing some cracks in the market, you know? Kind of similar to when we had that drop in August. So I'm a little, wary. Whenever we get those downturns, it kind of gets harder to trade. So, okay. So, we'll do that. Now on this one here, well, okay. Oh wait, which one? What was on this one? 0101. So what changed between, these are the same one. Oh, that's right. I ran it and it was like, it didn't work. Okay, so I can remove all non-pin to get rid of those ones that aren't really practical. Okay, well, the profit factor is only 1.08. We really want that to be 1.5. But the thing that I like about this one compared to the other one, because this one down here that we're looking at, there's only 172 trades. So we got a lot larger sample to work with.
Maxwell says GM boys. Maxwell says and girls. Winston's mom says lol. Maxwell smart, I see. Maxwell says slightly smiling face.
It's been a few days. How have you been? So let's come in here and look at our qualifications, shall we? Oops, we don't want to go into indicators. We want to go into strategies.
Maxwell says good week so far.
Good. We're doing the breakout one.
Winston's mom says very well, thanks. I put you on in the morning and listen if I am puttering around.
Makes sense. Okay, so I'm using a super smoother and a cross above the delta bands and a cross above, I see. And there's a look back period. Use rising super smoother. So I'm wondering about that part right there. So I'm going to remove this part. To see how much that's actually affecting the signal. Want to know how many trades it's taking out and what the change in win rate is. So we should expect that the win rate should fall a little bit with that. So I'm going to run that. And then I want to try some different filters here. Where did that go? So we've got this thing in here. We've got bands. This right here. And I'm thinking I'm going to copy this strategy. Then I'm going to come back to moving averages. And new strategy, and we're going to call it Ultimate Filters.
Winston's mom says, win rate. You mean the Winston Ferret win rate. Lol and bless you.
And this will be called Ultimate Filters. just heard something funny over the squawk. They're saying, oh, it wouldn't make this a race between countries, but the UK is ahead. I think they're talking about the coronavirus thing. Anyways, okay. Use targets true. Stop. Let's set the stop to be 16. That seems to work a lot better. Mid-band offset smooth true base period 10 dev period 10 dev. Okay. All this stuff doesn't really matter. All that matters is the mid-band. So then if is rising my band's dot midband enter long if is falling my band's dot midband enter short. Okay. I was just thinking about what we can do with this because there's like 16 different midbands. So now I'm thinking, hey, what if we added something with every single midband? We add every single one, and then we get a reading of what they say on the two metrics, whether price is above or below that, and whether the midband is rising or falling. And then we could choose a scoring system, and then we could use that scoring system to determine whether you want to go long or short. I think that if we did that it would probably be really late. Now, let's see if that builds. I never saved and built it. Okay. So now we wait. If the UK had enough data to issue an emergency use approval, why is the FDA waiting 8 more days to make a decision? Is it a necessity or is it bureaucracy? Might just be how fast that the department runs. US 10-year, 30-year yields extend, climb, top Tuesday's highs. Oh, yep, I can see. You can see that the 10-year is selling. Let's see here. Oh, hey, we're on again. It's on. Sweet. Okay. Thanks for telling me, Amp. Jeez. Oh yeah, I forgot I had all this crap open. Nah, we don't need to see the CL footprint chart. Okay. So now we can see the Treasury is definitely pushing down. Book a little flaky there, though. At 14, they're not necessarily willing to hold it, huh? So let's minimize that. Get all that going.
Winston's mom says Bloomberg, S&P 500 futures pointed to a drop at the open, oil held steady ahead of tomorrow's OPEC Plus meeting and gold continued to gain ground.
The E-mini is set for a drop, but it's not very significant.
Winston's mom says a busy week for labor data kicks off with the ADP employment change number at 8:15 a.m. Crude oil inventory figures are released at 10:30 a.m. The latest Fed Beige Book is published at 2 p.m.
So the big thing is we got a bunch of Fed speakers. So we got Fed's Quarles and Williams are speaking at the top of the hour here. So that might affect the treasuries. And then we got ECB's Lane also speaking at that time. We got New York ISM a little bit later, and then Fed Chair Powell is speaking. Harker is speaking. Williams speaks much later in the day. Then we get the Beige Book. Yeah, this is a stacked schedule today. Interesting that the treasuries are tightening ahead of that. And I should point out that all three of the treasuries are now below their stop out zones as well. So this is a place that we could maybe try and pull out a tick. Let's make sure that I got this all set up right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. We'll leave that back test going here. How long has that one been going for? Pretty sure it's okay, but I shouldn't have clicked it like that. Where's my ZB? There we go.
Winston's mom says Musk urged employees to stay focused on cutting costs, prevent a reversal in Tesla's soaring stock price in an email sent Tuesday, to hit a target of delivering 500,000 cars this year.
Oh yeah, now that one was interesting. Why that was leaking and everything. was kind of weird. It was kind of weird. I can get rid of that. I can get rid of that. Let's check up on Discord. I'm surprised that the Treasury already to stop out zone in the first 30 minutes. So remind me at like 7:15 if this is still going, then we need to kill it. We aim to keep financing conditions where they are these days, says ECB's Lane. Let's see here. Patrick Rooney says starting to feel like Hopper shorts have edge. So now that we've got everything loaded.
Winston's mom says, Clip 0715, remind me we need to kill it.
This is pretty hard steepening here, man. I mean, yesterday was a really big dark drop, right? Are they going to go again for 137.07 half? Here's the E-mini. You can see a little bit below yesterday's price, but not like the end of the world or anything like that. Oil. It's kind of been in a downturn. I don't think that all of the OPEC stuff has necessarily been going well for price. Gold, that's a relatively significant increase in gold. Copper, though. Copper taking a little bit of a dive there this morning, so maybe he's right. We should keep an eye on that. The dollar just getting creamed. Here's the dollar. Just down, down, down. And, oh, yes, over here. Bitcoin. Oh, we don't need this one. Don't need that chart. Don't need that chart, probably. There we are. Bitcoin. So, off of the highs from 20K, having difficulty holding that price. Curious. I guess, though, if they decide, if they play around here with it for a long time and establish some good base, it might help them when they eventually do try to pierce it again. Does look like we're getting the reversal here in the 10-year. I could try to get filled there. E-mini is in a pretty tight range. Missed it.
Winston's mom says MarketWatch has a headline that stock futures are set to open on a triple-digit decline.
Well, maybe for the Dow, but it's like, oh, that's actually about only 10, 20 points down in the S&P 500. So
Winston's mom says the bulletin says the Dow.
Marketeer says hedge funds even more all in. Oh. Market maker wasn't really willing to hold it all that well at 14, was he? It doesn't look like. I don't think that necessarily looks to me like informed trading so much as it is ranging behavior and maybe market makers increasing their spread. Oh, it's finished.
Winston's mom says Japanese have FOMO says Masanari Takada, a strategist at Nomura, says the Nikkei 225 may appear to be overheated. But he says calls are outweighing puts in the market for 1-month options. Winston's mom says particularly for equity options trading overseas.
That filter, the super smoother filter, isn't helping it at all. And it makes considerably more money without it. Just because of the number of... Actually, it even increases the win rate, really? Well, that's curious, isn't it? Okay, well... That one is me. Well, wait, let's look at the analysis part here. I mean, that's not bad on the drawdowns and stuff. You'd have to be a little lucky on the combines. So I think that's... We can get that down, bring that up. Very interesting. This one might be runnable. This might be doable. Okay. Well, enough of that.
SimSam says what is the best alternative market correlation for ZP since the ZN is not moving much?
So in this situation, SimSam, if I can show you here.
Vlad Stolyarov says expecting inside day and stalling today, then maybe bearish action.
So down at the bottom, from left to right, 30-year, 10-year, 5-year. Down at the very bottom here, you see the spread. So this is the spread between the 30 and 10, and this one is the spread between the 10 and 2. You notice that they're both increasing. They're both steepening. They're both steepening. Let's come back out here to the volume profile. ZN 2 and 10 steepening considerably. It's not the steepest it's been, but steepening considerably. Here, the ZB, well, there's a pretty ugly gap, but steepening considerably. No, I don't have it for the 5-year. Okay. So, what does that mean? Where's my pen? This would be a good time for the chalkboard, but I'm not going to do that. Spread means the front month times the ratio minus the back month times the ratio, right? So if we're doing the knob spread, that's the ZN ZB, right? So if we're steepening, that means they are buying the front month and they are selling the back month. Yeah? So when we come here onto the treasury, we want to buy the 10 and the 5 and 10, essentially. Really, you could do the 10 either way, but when we move up, it's going to be the 5, and when we move down, it's going to be the 30, right? But in terms of them not moving much, I don't really think that that's really a concern right now. You're going to be fine on whichever one you're doing. But if you're looking for some sort of a market correlation with equities or other markets, that's where I would say you can, switch based on which side of the spread you're more interested in. So if you're interested in when the treasuries are selling, probably you would want to still look at the ZB, right? Whereas you could also just watch the spread. Anyways, it as you can tell, it can be extremely complicated, right? That was kind of odd right there.
Sim Sam says right. Winston's mom says speculator Seth, there are less than 60 seconds to kill time. You wanted to be reminded.
No, we got it. It finished. It finished. We looked at it, and it improved things. Which is weird, because when I first started testing, I was pretty sure that the super smoother helped, but now I need to go back and look at it. If I use I think I used the super smoother in another one. I need to remove it. I don't think it was being used in the spread one, though. I think the spread one was purely order flow based.
Winston's mom says, clip removed from other video if I forgot.
Okay, well, the 5-year is kind of flipping back and forth there. So it kind of looks like that spread is reverting just a tad. Getting some good absorption at 14.
Winston's mom says, what's the big gift your children are asking for this year? You do Christmas, don't you? I can't remember now if I saw a tree last year.
I don't think we put a tree in here. We always have one in out in the hall. They haven't really been asking for anything this year. We've been having a hard time with it because they don't. There's no like FOMO from them at all about anything. Okay, they pulled at 14.5 a little bit. So you can kind of see how market maker is willing to engage with them at 14, but
Vlad Stolyarov says CRM gapping down 225 on earnings.
Market makers don't really want to hit into 14.5, right? Because that might mean entering a position at 14.5, which isn't really a great spot to be going long.
Vlad Stolyarov says minus 6.7%. Winston's mom says, I haven't had a tree since I began bringing ferrets home and allowing them free roam. With only a very senior Juliet ferret, I may put up a tree this year.
There you go. Oh, because you don't think that she will ruin it. Okay, now that's interesting.
Vlad
Now the market
Stolyarov
makers
says
is completely
Salesforce.
pulling it at 14.5. Cool. All right, we did get hit. They took 1,000. There's another 1,000 there. E-mini kind of towards the bottom end of its range there. Oh, we need to refresh this. Ooh. You know what? You know what we're going to do? I'm going to do it on this other window here. Since we caught that, I don't know if I really want to take one at the moment. So let's come in, turn on debug mode. Rebuild. Okay. Okay. Now let's make it crash. You can see where it's been crashing. Ah. The index. was out of range. I is 0. And that's 0. Odd. Huh. How can that be? It says that it's out of range. Oh, wait. Is it because it's values of 0? Then there's nothing inside of it. Ah. Okay, well, I think that's enough for me to try and debug it, for me to try and modify it later. I think what has happened I think what's happened is the cache has created a bar that the chart doesn't have. So here's where this is like reload all historical data. Okay. And then we'll try reloading the ninja scripts. It'll probably still crash though. Yeah, that's okay. Fedlow on Fox Business says he would like to avoid a shutdown, but notes they have to do an interim bill first. Oh, it's Salesforce. What's Vlad was telling us which stock that was. Okay, E-mini looks like it's maybe turning.
SimSam says, is there a site to see more about correlation?
I don't know any sites specifically. There's correlation. I mean, there's some correlation indicators in NinjaTrader, and I would definitely read about the indicators that are built into your platform. But then I think this is really a case where if you go in and you start like backtesting certain setups with them, just do like simple setups with the correlation to see how well they actually work. And I think you'll learn a lot about when it's okay to take the correlation trade and so forth. Moderna CEO says we're going to have a lot of cash next year.
Maxwell
Okay.
says, I wish I knew a parameterless correlation indicator.
Nah, yeah. To do a correlation, you have to do it over a period of time. It wouldn't make sense otherwise. Unless you just want to see the correlation over the whole series. Ugh. Which wouldn't be useful, necessarily. Twitch and TikTok help break through artists to bypass big music. My nose, my son, my baby son, bumped into my nose last night, and it still kind of feels. Ugh. I don't think he did any damage or anything, but maybe it looks a little more flat. Just kidding. The market here says nobody wants put. Why not buy some? Hey, that's actually not a bad idea. We could buy some puts, maybe. Maybe not today. Hey, look at that. The treasury moved up. Okay, so the initial impulse
Winston's
from
mom
the
says,
E-mini
ouch.
is
Still, you
down.
sound good today.
Yeah, well, those days that I sounded bad, it was because I had a plastic tube up my nose. Things were a lot better once they removed the plastic tube. Okay. Well, that one's not going to work out, is it? It's been okay at points, but overall it looks like the volume is still selling. Hmm. China's second biggest smartphone maker tumbles at even most ever after record equity offering. Oof. You know what? We've seen a number of cases here the past few days where a company is doing an offering of some sort and it tanks the stock. So that's kind of what happened with Neo, right? There we go.
Ace Trades says internet is down all over town. What am I missing, besides my 2 points?
Is it really? Well, I think you probably would have got your 2 points, yeah. I don't know if you would have traded that first move down on the E-mini. I'd say before the S&P 500 opened up, it was pretty rangy and tough, which wouldn't be favorable to our strategy, but since it's opened up, it's been going okay. Treasuries continue to be pushing down a bit. It's really the internet is down, huh? Okay. Good. So I think it was at 52 was where I wanted to see them cross the spread and then potentially go up to 36.55.
Ace
When I
Trades
look at
says
that on the chart, it looks
everyone
so
is
far
storming
away, but
Facebook
it's
to
not.
complain.
Really? It's not like that up here. Let's go check out KSL. So you must be on your phone. Don't know. Okay. Yeah, not quite busting it. Come on, let's see some stop orders. Come on, come on. There you go.
Ace Trades says this is why some traders have a backup internet connection like satellite. My computer is hardwired. Maybe I need a laptop so I can hotspot my phone.
Well, as long as you're not in a position, right? This doesn't look like it. So far, it's not turning into some like huge, game-changing day or anything. So I think you'll be fine. They tested the downside a little bit. They just tested the upside a little bit. They're back to the open. I'm looking for them to cross the gap from the overnight session.
Ace Trades says on a good note,
came
I
close.
haven't lost any money.
There you go. Neither have I. Okay, so there was you got a little bit more aggressive there on the sell side, and now buyers are responding in kind.
Ace Trades says, but I love taking from the rich and giving to me.
Have you watched this video? So there's a video, I think that they came it out was from Bloomberg, talking about the day trader that they're blaming the flash crash on now. And apparently it's this autistic kid that used to trade for Futex. And what happened was in the beginning, like after the 2008 crisis, he was basically market making, manually market making. And then the robots came along and basically destroyed his strategy. So that's why it turned into this spoofing, is he figured out how to screw up the market making robot. And so that's why he was doing it. So it was kind of like a little bit of a like, well, you guys have been taken from me, so now I'm going to screw you back.
Ace Trades says I've heard him interviewed, but not this latest article.
Yeah, well, it wasn't interviewed. It was kind of more of like a history of it all. So when you kind of put it in the perspective of like that, kind of what he was doing and everything made a little bit more sense. Like he knew what he was doing, of course. And so I think that, but in the end, he was just a guy that was day trading. But the thing that's sad about it was that he made like hundreds of millions of dollars. And he didn't just like waste it. He put it in different funds and everything. Like hedge funds and stuff. And the hedge funds basically lost all of his money. Like all
Ace
of it.
Trades says, yup, millions.
And like, it was not like it, they all were saying, oh, well, we wish it was like, you know, it's actually hiding somewhere and he's going to fly to the Cayman Islands and then be a millionaire there. But they're no, like they said that they investigated it really, really thoroughly. And they're pretty certain that that they lost all of it. It's just absolutely crazy. Okay, well, I think that we're still in the advantage here, but I must say it is a real slog. They're having a difficult time
Ace Trade
getting
says that's why
the
I bury
volume up.
thousands with a gun and ammo cans in the desert.
Oh, there. He's joking, but it's probably actually is doing that. You think he's joking, but I believe it. That's people in Utah would do that sort of stuff. Okay, yeah, we're okay. I can put that there just in case, but
Ace Trades says joking. I just spend it all.
oh, okay. You know what? I'm just not feeling it. It's a sell. It seems like the sell was they were able to push that down way too easily. You know what I mean? Like the market maker, it looks like that the market maker just didn't hold a whole lot of bids coming through there. The treasury pushes lower. So I can't tell you how far the treasury might go. Look at that. That's not necessarily a positive thing for equity markets. Okay, well, there's a new low. It's not like amazing or anything, but okay. Hmm. Now you're getting some puffs of volume here, huh? Yeah, look at that. Look at how much stronger the buy volume comes in. And there the treasury goes another step. This is let's remember that it's down around '08 or so. That was the highs, or sorry, the lows in the treasuries from a week or so ago around the election.
Ace Trades says check your phone.
Okay.
Maxwell says daily target reach. See ya tomorrow.
See ya later. Eat fast. Oh wait, here it is. Oh, there you go. Wow, 208 comments from that over in Eagle Mountain. Wow. Well, that's interesting. Okay, well, I would say that last sell was pretty aggressive. They didn't break a new low, not yet. It's come back to kind of a balanced area around the 36.46. Looks like he's going to try it
Ace
again.
Trades says all bitching comments.
I bet. Huh, I must guess it's just error. Are you, is it all the same ISP? Is it Comcast? Okay. Interesting. Interesting price action there. Quite a tussle here.
Ace Trades says I have never ever been able to deliver 100%, 24/7, even to people I love. Why expect that from your internet service? I'm happy with 99.9%.
Oh man. For some people it's a really big problem though. But I can't remember. I seem to recall that area you live in being a spot where there's like unique internet service providers over there, right? Like I can't remember if you would be on Comcast or if it's like one of those small guys. Okay, so there's a little pivot just above us. I'm gonna break that. Yeah. Okay.
Ace Trades says yes, it was hard to get someone to come in. Small company, Direct Communications came in and made the investment.
Well, now I think I have to readjust. Wow, look at how quickly they came back up there, man. No. With a move like that, I think I'm going to have to cancel that limit. Oh, and they already broke it by 1 tick, huh?
Sim Sam says nice move.
Yeah, I think a seller gave up there.
Ace Trades says people are mad that they are not answering the phone. I would rather they were fixing the problem rather than hearing about it.
Okay, that was another good little. So now we're getting the like a nice, really nice little bubble up. Honestly, when I had that take profit at the open there, I should have moved it, but that's okay. So it was so close to the pivot. Once they came up through there, you knew that they were going to flip through. Yeah. Almost. Come on. There you go. So now I'm hearing stuff on the news squawk. They're playing the games with the stimulus bill now, saying, "Oh, we got a stimulus bill, we'll pass it," but Nancy Pelosi won't let it through. Cool. Where's Uzi? Did Uzi catch any of that short in ZB? This is just a mind-bending move down. We literally could have sold a whole handle, whole point in the ZB from 173 to 172. This hardcore steepening. From my perspective, looking at it, no way that I would have selected this where it started turning back down. The bond market. People talking about the bond markets. Oh, it was. Are they close to 1%? We could go back and look at where we could try and recalculate it again because it's kind of a moving target. We were still quite a ways away from that, though. Well, oh, it's 957. So we are like 4 or 5 basis points away.
RJ Wheel says long Essa.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see
RJ
here.
Wheel says ace you with me.
$4.3 times 8509 divided by 15.625. 23 handles. 23 ticks. So it would still need to be a little bit below 137. So even though they're saying, oh, it's getting awfully close to 1% and everything else, that's still quite a ways. Hmm. Gonna leave a limit order out there just in case I get lucky. Where does the 10-year over 1% put U.S. equities? Well, I don't think that the U.S. 10-year, I think the U.S. 10-year is doing it because of equities. I think I think it's the other way around. Almost. Yeah, I definitely selected the right spot. Okay. Long ESA AC with me. No, he don't have internet today. Okay, I'm happy with that offer.
Sim Sam says maybe a short trade at 7,204.
Are you talking NQ? No, I can't be talking NQ either. Oh, are you saying 7204 in the ZB? I gotcha.
Sim Sam says ZB.
Yeah, so here's the question. How far can it go today? Do you think that they're really going to go to 1%? Everybody keeps saying that treasuries above 1% would cause some havoc, right? That seems to be the number people are looking at. Well, we would have to go another 26 ticks to hit that.
Sim Sam says quick scalp.
If you were going to short 04 and take it for like less than 4 ticks, I think that makes sense to me. Because from what I can see, I don't know how you read it. I would love to know more, but the way I see it, they seem to be doing this. That seems like, well, so there's a little bit at 03, right? But I think you can see it more clearly in the 10-year. They've widened their spreads a little bit, but not a ton. So it's moving pretty freely within this area.
Sim Sam says step in the profile.
Step in the profile is a good way to see it, sure. I think what you want to look at, or what I look at, like, I shouldn't say what you want to look at because I don't really know. What I like to look at, though, because a step in the profile tells me that that's a place that has held before, right? There's a lot more volume there than there. But the question is, when does that change, right? So do we get up to 04 and then they have a pretty decent offer on there and the buyers just start completely hit into it, and whatever? Or maybe we get up there to 04 and they don't do that. The market maker increases his spread even more, and he's looking like 0506, right? Or better example, we take another move lower. How do we decide where that zone is going to be, right? So that's why it's good to watch what the liquidity providers are doing. How much of a spread do they seem to be holding, and which prices do they seem to be the most interested in holding their spread at? And then you can determine immediately, and you should be able to predict where the step in the profile is going to happen in the future. Well, the US 10-year being over 1%, I don't think it's going to happen today, but we'll see.
Sam says first absorption, then backticking, then reverse trade.
Yeah. That one is kind of a hard one. So what he's talking about, and John Grady talks about this a lot, is that you're going to see they're going to hit into 72. Maybe they clear it. And then you'll see it tick back and forth there quite a bit as the liquidity provider adds more and more there. Kind of depends on where it is, right? I think that the reason why I tend to look how do I say this? When you see something, let's say that you see absorption and back ticking, I've gone and I've done studies and I've said, okay, so if you see an iceberg there, what are the chances that it reverses there? And it's 55% or something like that. But if you know why, then you can kind of make a better decision, right? So we know that we're having a fairly trendy day, so we would expect the market makers to be holding a larger spread than normal. And we know that the trend is definitely down, right? So if I see an iceberg at 30, I don't necessarily want to hold that one, because that's probably just the market maker holding his spread, and there might be informed traders that will still eat through it. But if I saw it up here on this side, then I would definitely be a lot more interested, right? Because we kind of know why they're moving.
Sam says right.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time practicing Grady's individual setups and testing them and figuring out everything that I could about it. And what I found is that if you count every time that it happens, and you take those every time that it happens, you don't do very well. You have to know the context in which ones to take.
Sam says exactly.
Now, the issue in the treasury, sometimes that's really hard to know. I'm finding, though, that the more I understand about how the market maker tries to manage his position, the more I can kind of judge some of those things. But there's still so much stuff that goes on in the treasuries with auctions and offerings, hedging, a corporate offering and the currencies and everything else. It's really hard to be, completely to keep up. And the information is not incredibly available either. US 10-year taking a pretty good, the dollar is taking a pretty good hit today too.
Sam says there are information that we don't know.
Yeah. I bet you somewhere there's some news service that tells you everything you'd ever want to know about treasuries. And it's probably, thousands of dollars to get it. And we would never hear about what it is. That child. He's crying out there for... He's acting like he was hurt, but I don't think he is. Hold on. Still kind of hurts. You probably damaged it. He wanted to come inside. Oh, you just want to touch the microphone. Look, there's nothing. It's just a microphone. Don't you talk into it. You talk into it. Don't start hyperventilating. Well, I have to say, incredibly tight on the S&P 500 today. We caught a good trade, and I'm happy with how I managed it and that we were able to take it, 2 scalp orders off of it. But
Sim Sam says
I wish
hi,
I had
beautiful.
taken some of that 10-year. Say hi. Hello. Did you say da 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 da? No. Say mama mama mama. No. He knows. He knows that there are people watching him. Like, he can see the video. He's seen it on the phone. He knows what it is. And so he gets shy around people.
Sim Sam says next trader.
It'll be a while. He sure likes to look at it, though. He just he's pretty much his whole life right now revolves around trying to sneak into my office. Like, I have to remember to close the door because, you know, there's a lot of power under there, right? It's a dangerous place for a kid. But because that's like the one place we won't let him go unsupervised, that's where he wants to go all the time.
Sim Sam says long at 04.
You're gonna go long at 04, huh? Well, there is some
Sim Sam
iceberg
says
in there.
ZB.
So this is curious. It sounds to me like you're primarily interested in playing the how do we call it, the step in the profile. You know what? That's something we should test. I could test that. We could say if the difference between
Sim
this
Sam
price
says
and
yes.
this price is statistically significant. How would I do that? Could we use like a Bollinger Band kind of setup? I bet you I could graph something.
Sim Sam says IIF you could, that would be very, very nice.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely doable. So I think what we would want to do is we would want to say, what is the difference between these two? What is the difference between these two, right? So this one, it would only be 700, and this one it would be 4,000. And then we could make a statistical setup to say, okay, based on what the average difference between two adjacent prices are, what is a statistically significant difference? Like what is the second standard deviation or third standard deviation jump to determine where there's a gap in the profile, or sorry, a step in the profile. And then we could back test to say, if there is a statistically significant step in the profile, what is the probability if it steps through it that it just continues going, or vice versa? I'm going to bet though, this again, I'm noticing you get these areas that many of the places that I have found end up being decision points more than anything, which means that it's actually really hard to predict outright what it's going to do at that location based purely on technical information.
Sim Sam says ITH Jink you could do this.
Yeah. So like with mine, I've got these places where I basically know where people's positions are. And by the way, people's positions in the treasuries are like way up above us. So if they do come back up, I wouldn't be surprised to see the ZB come back to like 172.12. But and I've found some statistical, like enough that you could actually make a decent amount of money trading between the lines. But when you get to that line and you try applying like any technical indicator, moving averages, any of those sorts of things, it's like it's 50-50 no matter what you're looking at. It's really bizarre. Like normally you'd go in and you test something and be like, oh, okay, well there's kind of this, but there's not really a whole lot of edge in it. But no, this area, it really is like almost completely random until you get order flowish. Are you tired? No. I say that, are you tired? Then he's like, okay. Oh. That a child? Come in and sit with us if you want, but I don't want to hold you anymore. Come in.
You didn't want to sit in his seat?
Oh, I guess we could sit in his seat. But...
That's okay.
Okay, let's do it.
SimSam says volume profile is a leading indicator. Forget about BB or moving average.
No, it's what should I say my opinion on this is? I mean, I'm really enjoying talking to you about this, SimSam, by the way. To me, it's all past data. So like a lot of people will say, so like here's a better example of an argument. So I don't know what's your opinion on price action? You heard
SimSam
this?
says thanks, me too.
Oh, cool. You heard this term price action, right? What is it? What even is it? It seems to me like I can definitely tell you the kinds of setups that they look at. They'll identify an area of support and resistance, and then they're watching the action around there. They're watching the action around there, and they'll say, okay, this bar was a really big bar there through the resistance, and it had a lot of volume with it, and that's positive price action that can mean there's going to be a breakout and we want to buy it there. Those are the sorts of things that they use. I've never seen a really...
SimSam says price action doesn't work.
You don't think price action works. So I don't believe that price action works either. But I don't believe that price action doesn't work because I can go down and say, well, hold on a second. The news squawk was just blew my ear out. He is having trouble keeping his microphone at a good note. High volume, low note, volume, note, and context. Okay. Yeah, anyways, I think that what happens is they have such a broad set of rules and stuff that really they can interpret the price action any way that they want. And so price action really becomes chart patterns. Without explicitly saying chart patterns. You know what I mean? And that's why I think it doesn't work. But their argument is that, the chart, like the current price, that's everything else is backwards looking. Everything else is past data and doesn't matter anymore. What you want to look at is the current thing, right? Well, my opinion on that is this. Everything is past. The instant that it gets transferred, that thing happens, the piece of data is created on the exchange, it is past at that. After there's like an infinitely small point in time. It's a line at which that event happens, and ever after that, any point at which you can absorb that point, it is past data. And by the time it gets to you, it is definitely past data. And by the time you can react to it, it's definitely past data, right? Can past data actually predict the future? It seems like I can gather some statistical information to find some patterns or setups that appear to have a reasonable probability, like 55, 60% in certain situations, but it doesn't mean that they have to hold to it forever, right? So then to me, to say, for me to say anything that is leading, I don't think so. I only think that I can look at what is currently happening and why they might be doing it. A lot of people don't want to try and figure out why they're doing it, but to me, I think it matters. Are they absorbing a lot of contracts at that spot because the market maker is managing his inventory? Or are they trading a lot of contracts at that spot because somebody thinks that there's something important is happening? Did it blow through that spot because the market maker didn't want to hold the liquidity, or because people were getting stopped out and screwed over, or because they think they know something? You know? So in that respect, if there's anything that's leading, it's going to be like news and sentiment, right? But the volume profile is interesting to me. I remember, like James Dalton is the big volume profile, well, maybe not volume profile, probably more market profile, but let's call it profile stuff, right? Futures Trader 71 definitely uses volume profile stuff. I've watched it, but I've often found myself trying to pay a really big attention to those areas, like right there, and then like totally screwing up, Yeah, it's more important what happens now, not yesterday or 1 month ago. Yeah. And so in that respect, probably if we were going to look at any one technical setup, probably the most leading thing is going to be level 2. But level 2 is notoriously unreliable, right? So like right here in the 10 years, a good example. Why almost 5K at 11? Seems to me like there are still some people that are very, very short and probably don't want to be as short as they are anymore. Anyways, we got an hour. Let's try writing it. I think I can do it. Jump into profile. So I think that I need to do it like... I think I need to do it like with this one. Profile steps. I don't know why it adds all that down at the bottom, but... Okay. Profile steps. I'll just call it like that. So let's do it on the 10-year. I need tick replay. One day so that we reduce the amount of tick replay that we have to do. Ooh, that's huge. Okay. That did not look positive. Huh. Didn't like either of those. Error calling on state change. Not set to reference of an object. Is it because of that? Is it because I double... No, wait a second. I know an easier way to test this. Remove. So the indicator that I'm trying to build that off of isn't working. It's just kind of weird. So something has broken it. So not one that I've used for a long time. It's super cool though. Volume profile column. Still does it. Okay, fine. We'll do things the hard way if you want to be like that. Oh. I refresh it and then it's fine. Volume profile steps, volume profile dips. I'm just thinking about what's the best way to match it up. If it's better to just keep track of the volume profile and then do a redraw, like a rerun through it afterwards. I think that it might be, so let's do it that way, even though it's not going to be hyper efficient. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just trying to set the Z order of it, which I don't know why I have that in there, but that's okay. Okay, so yeah. Ta-da! Okay. So I think that we should make it so that this one, it'll be the difference between the current price and the price above it. So this one, even though it's 0, the difference here will be 155. And then when we get to here, the difference on this one will be 16. Oh, now interestingly, oh, it does keep track of what the highest, oh wait, high value and high price, that's something else. That's like, what's the largest one over there? Oh. Vlad says I didn't trade today yet. Oh. Was it Minution that kind of pushed everything up today? I don't know. When I looked at it and I took that long, I was just looking at where people were positioned for and trading against that. It worked today at least. Okay, so I think what we need to do is we need to come up here and we need to say, let's see here. There's like a row data, isn't there? Yeah. So I'm going to simplify things down a little bit. So there's going to be I'm going to call it step volume. We should make it a linked list. Let's make it a linked list. Public row data next. This is actually going to be a little bit more complicated than I thought it was going to be now because of this. Okay. Should I have the profile do it or should I have the row do it? Val.step volume equals val.total volume minus step volume, or that's actually the absolute value of it, right? It's like that. Row data. Let's see here. Volume, comma price, comma next. I guess we have to come in here and do this. Double next price equals price plus tick size. The else has to be no, this is going to create an infinite loop. Hold on. Oh no, because it'll only create the next one. Oh. Ew. That's a case too. Oh, it's right here. I can just copy this. Oh, And then we can just always do it like that, right? Okay. So we can say if it's equal to null, then we need to create a price. Oh. If val dot next equals null, then we need to create a new one. Add it into the data structure. Set our on the next. And then do that bit. That's getting complicated. Would be awesome if the com would show the step in the profile. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but we get there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish it today. We're trying. Okay. If it doesn't exist, oh, that's, this one goes here. This one goes here. This one is going to go. Oh, both of them add one. Sometimes I lose track of what I'm thinking. Bitcoin very high. Will it go higher? I don't know. I don't, it doesn't seem to me like they're like really set to like collapse. So like the metric says that they're overvalued, but I'm not seeing the kind of qualitative measures that I would see that says, this thing is about to fall apart, you know? I think that they want to take another, you know, they probably want to take 20K again and make another little step higher. They want a retail rush. But what will happen is if they don't get that retail rush, they'll only be able to wait for so long, and then the seasonality will start kicking in and they'll get out. Also, if the stock market takes a downturn, which at the moment it doesn't look like it's going to, but I think that if the markets took a downturn, that could hurt cryptocurrencies as well, especially since, you know, the way that the treasuries are moving, the interest rates are rising. That's not a positive thing for cryptocurrencies. What are you programming? I'm trying to program something that will show us steps in the profile. Okay, so let me go back here. So we need the next value, and we say if we get the next value, then we can add here a new item with the next value. If we don't get the next value, then I think that we need to come in and do something like this. Okay. Don't think that we need that. Oh, actually, I do need that. Yeah, that part I need. This part, though. Oh no, I already did it. Dude, that was what that whole big long thing was about. Da, 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 da. Okay, calculate values. Corona vaccine bullish for stocks and crypto? Well, sure. I don't think that the market's really reacting to this latest headline that Great Britain has approved the vaccine. So I don't know what the deal is. I was gonna say, if that builds, I'm gonna be amazed. That sucks. That's kind of lame, but that's okay. We can deal with it. Oh, the good little rise there. And then what's this one? 67. Oh, yes. So if this actually works properly, I'm going to be really impressed with myself. It's something that's complicated. Almost never works the first time, right? Okay, so first thing is I think we're going to have to add and remove it. So, remove, apply. Volume profile, steps, edit. Yeah, you know what? Let's get rid of this stupid thing up here at the top. Fingers crossed? No, it's not. Oh, I know why. It may actually be working. It may actually be working here. Believe it or not. Row. Oh, that's right. Step, step. Step, 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 step. I think we're close. We might be close. No, it still didn't do it. Oh, row dot step volume. It must be showing up in here somewhere else. Oh, right here, row dot step volume. How come the alpha didn't change then? Do you roll with the Southsiders or what? Okay, now why to have asked the question? Let's answer his question. What's your view on TT and CQG? I've heard that TT is a really good platform for program HFT. Is it possible to create a smart and fast HFT like the banks? So the first thing is, if you really want to compete in like HFT worlds, your biggest barrier is going to be in the connection to the exchange. So you would want to, at the very least, be co-located, and that's where these people are like paying extra for direct access in there. Like if your position in the queue matters, you're probably not going to be able to compete on that. But you can make pretty fast programs and trade them. And I've never programmed in TT, but my understanding that it's pretty good. The thing where TT has an advantage, and the reason that you're hearing that sort of a thing, is that, like here in Jigsaw, I can make an order where I say if the level 2 at 11 is less than 500 orders in the queue, then submit a market order to hit into it. And, that's called a synthetic volume stop. And TT kind of has tools to allow you to make your own order types like that. They can be really useful. So there's a lot of things in TT that make it advantageous for an institutional trader because of that. Makes sense. And I think that the TT DOM is pretty good. I don't think it's as good as the Jigsaw DOM, but it was kind of the original. So, and it has all of the main features that you need. And overall, I think it's a really impressive platform. Also, we got Patrick, who kind of runs the community outreach for them, is a really good guy to talk to. So he's not that difficult to get a hold of. All right, so it's doing all that. I'm interested how it is not show me that stuff and it must just be fine. But where do we set step volume? Oh, that's right. Next value. If next value doesn't exist, it needs to be set to 0. I think we should do this. Oh, I can't do it there. So, okay. Oh. Have to go. See you tomorrow. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see you tomorrow, and hopefully then it's fixed. E-mini still bubbling up. It died. Ah. I made a boo-boo. Definitely made a logical mistake there somewhere. But getting an actual error like that is good, I guess. The question is, which step is broken? One 875. Oh. Next price, next val. That was a dumb mistake. Says that it's already been added when we get to here. Row data. Val.total volume plus equals. And if val.next equals null. Oh, that one's actually kind of a curious bug. That shouldn't be able to happen. $203. Oh, this is the same. It was that same silly mistake. Next price. Okay. Yeah. Ta-da! Hey, wait, it worked. I think it worked. That's correct. So this should be the difference between this and this. Let's see here. Pull out our calculator. Two, 3, 1, 3, 4 minus 1, 4, 5, 9, 2 equals 8,542. Oh, right. Because there was this whole thing that we did all over here was to fix this so that we could say hopefully that doesn't cause a crash. Sure takes it forever. So it's the difference between this and this. Oh wait, actually maybe that is right. So let's clear it. 14,592 minus 155 equals. No, how is it getting that? Well, I've got a really, this is what I was worried about. So like these ones up here just seem correct. So the difference, this one should be 0. And then the difference between this one and this one is 16. And the difference between this one and this one should be 8118 minus 16. Right? 8102. And then 16,536 minus 8,118 equals 8,418. Maybe I'm just going back the wrong way. Maybe I need to, maybe it's slightly different because it's going the other way. 14592 minus 23,134 equals. No, it's not. It's this is saying 182, and that's not correct. So at some point it breaks down. Is it because that calculation isn't getting taken done? Am I running into one of those problems with... I think I might be. My head hurts now. Well, we're close. There's a really going to be a really funky one in here. It might be that when I'm referencing one of these, I think that I'm referencing the object that's in the array, but it's not. In both cases, the step volume is calculated outside of there. So well, we got like 5 minutes. Let's try. Okay, so wait, which... I'm gonna bring this over here. This gonna be crazy. Okay, so price. Okay, 42011. That's correct. 42011. And then the next one is 8590. $42,011 minus 8590. 8590. This is going to be equal 33,421. See, that one seems to be working correctly. Because it's this one right here in particular that really irks me. Where the hell does it get 8294 from? Because 14,592 minus 155 is not 8294. Where does it get that from? Ah! Okay, but you can see it is kind of working. It is kind of working. Because if we were going to do this, when we were to set up a Bollinger Band on this value here, right? We're going to get something kind of like this. Right? Or it wouldn't even be that. We would just say, like, what is the third standard deviation? It's like right there. So then this would be highlighted as a step in the profile. And, well, specifically this area right here, these two right here. Which is right where we're at, by the way. Which is kind of interesting because I doubt that any of you would be thinking about messing around with it right here, would you? Not with that particular setup, at least. Well, I'm really interested to find out what it ends up being because this is so weird. Okay. Well, guys, fun day. I'll just minimize those. We'll just kind of take a look here before we go. E-mini's still kind of pushing up on its highs. The treasuries have come back considerably, though. So interesting. And it looks like things have consolidated back, so the ZB is pretty much balanced. The other two aren't. So I think now here is a good spot just to kind of to stop for the day. And remember, 137 even, 1%. So but we'll see where they go. Yesterday there was kind of some strange rotations in the market. I bet you we continue to have that today, right? All right, so let's call today's video interest rates continue climb. If it'll let me change the name here. Oh, well, whatever. I'll change it later. I'll catch you guys later. In the meantime, stay profitable, friends.